drone technology. And it might surprise some of you all that the top 2 drone companies in the world are in Malaysia. So this is fantastic achievement by a small country like Malaysia, where we've got 2 drone companies, and you see a drone sitting right there. So that's really impressive. And we can ride on this high-tech notion by having that clear science technology policy, but we also got something very innovative, I thought, personally, this My Science Technology Innovation and Economy Framework, where it frames out 10 global SNT drivers, what are the drivers of science in coming future, and also the socio-economic drivers that we need to make it happen. So every country is unique. Malaysia is unique. We've got our niche area. Other countries are unique. But I'm also glad that many developed countries are also referring to this piece of document. You could Google it and you can get it on the web. It's a really good piece of how you can match your science and technology aspirations with your socio-economic drivers, right? So the Ministry of Science, MOSTI as we are called, is deeply committed in supporting all this, generating economy through STIs, through planning strategies, as we showed to you all. And we're trying to cover the whole value spectrum of value chain to ensure that we nurture businesses right up to a certain level of maturity, and that's really important. And as we know, currently, of course, with all the pandemic, you know that startups are also struggling due to the challenges that this pandemic has brought about. But it also provides an exciting era because we saw how digitalization has transformed our life. And we can feel the air of hum with virtual activity and reality transforming very before our eyes. And the pace of change is really fast. I used to tell my children when they saw me one day taking out a typewriter that belonged to my father, they were thinking what it was. Or they couldn't imagine a world where we could take photographs and you can't preview it. You know, you have to go to you got to develop it. It was a chemical-based technology, and kids cannot understand how we managed to just live with 36 or 24 shots, and now they've just got ultimate number of shots. So this is how fast technology is moving. But sometimes when you reminisce the old days, it's also fun because it gives you that moment of excitement when you develop the photograph, especially if you have secretly taken somebody that you admire, right? See how it came out. So that's also that interesting part of the good old days. Right. So I shall speak about several ways which to support myself. Thank you. I bring a strong local ecosystem, and I think we are looking at opportunities here in Dubai to further nurture our startups and to give them the opportunity to link with many people who will be visiting our pavilion. And the question is, how is Malaysian government going to strive all this? Is virtually Malaysian government, as what Rafiza told in very little words, and you will probably witness more, is we're trying to nurture them throughout the value chain. And that's very important. And Malaysia is also being positioned now as a very important place to be a hub for startups. And it's good to know that the startup genome has acknowledged Malaysia as potential by citing Kuala Lumpur as an attractive destination for startups in its global startup ecosystem report 2020. We are ranked number 11 out of 250 other ecosystems. So that's really very encouraging. And I think as what Rafiza said, we've got the first unicorn, Carson, but we have been given the challenge by our minister that we need to have another 5 unicorns by 2025. So another 4 to go, 2025. I mean, it's a long call, but I believe with the power of my colleagues here, I'm sure we can achieve it. I think that's something we should do and we can do. And I think by the end of this year, we'll be revealing our startup ecosystem roadmap called Super, and we hope it's Super, to really drive startups and create the unicorns that we need. So how do we transform the industry? I was very taken up by Rafiza emphasizing the word sustainability because we realize business as usual cannot take you very far and we need to change. So while we speak about this business of 4IR, I think it must be complemented with the sustainable development goals. Whatever we do, we must look at how it affects production, consumption patterns, how it affects life on land, life underwater, So you might be a fantastic startup, but if you're producing products that are not in harmony with nature, your livelihood will not be long. Because why I say this, countries in Europe are coming out with new laws that look at your carbon footprint, and that's very important. And for countries like Malaysia, we need to be very careful about all these things because we have got some blockbuster commodities which is perceived to be carbon intensive. So this is very, very important, right? So I'm trying to cut down my shot because I know it's getting really hot there. So I'm picking and choosing what to say. We're trying to remain exciting by promoting all this cutting-edge technology. But at the same time, I think Malaysia, being a mega diverse country, as you'll see as you walk into our pavilion, we need to leverage on our niche areas as well, while having IoT, AI. But there are many things that we have not explored that's just around our neighborhood, just around our backyard. And that's something that we can always capitalize on. And India has done it very well. India has taken medicine through their Ayurvedic platform to a very high level by using traditional knowledge system, complementing it with state-of-the-art production, and brought Ayurvedic to a different level. And you see Himalaya products even in Malaysia, and I also see it here in Dubai. So Malaysia, I mean, we've got in Peninsular Malaysia alone, we've got 18 indigenous tribes. We've got amazing knowledge. You just have to sit down and talk to them, and they can share with you. And there's probably a blockbuster pharmaceutical just lying somewhere in the tropical rainforest, just waiting for someone to go and unleash his potential. So I think while we are looking at all these sexy technologies, I think we shouldn't discount the potential of techno knowledge that could also be a blockbuster ecosystem coming forward. Malaysia is also trying to get the startups more vibrant. We've got, I see the funding agency sitting in front of me. And a lot of like Cradle, of course, we've got Kumpulan Model Perdana, Malaysian Venture Capital, NTTC, all these agencies, government-linked agencies created just to assist startups to be more vibrant. Something that I did in MOSTI, I'm the policies are complemented with some amount of resource mobilization. That's fun. There's funds to make it happen. In many places, you have policies, but there's no resource mobilization. And that's very important, resource mobilization. And one more area that we really need to put a lot of emphasis is we are moving on and technology is becoming, and what is being taught in university is probably going to be obsolete. And we need to move in tandem with that. And as a young officer in 1997, some of the Malaysians may remember we were going after multimedia super corridor. And there were 7 flagships, and MOSTI was in charge of the R&D flagship. So the Japanese investors told us, right, you're not producing the graduates we want. And this was way back in 1997. And we had to take a long, steep learning curve to ensure that we try to produce the kind of graduates that the market needs. And that's very important. And for those people out there, you have something, huge potential for you to work with Malaysia. And the other thing that I think startups need to understand in this whole thing is, of course, this is Malaysia. I mean, it's probably not this. Our towers have been overtaken by someone, but we still show it. It's still the tallest twin towers in the world. We still show it to show how vibrant Malaysia is. But I think there's something that I think startups need to learn with the COVID pandemic is that we need to be nimble, simple. We must be like a chameleon, able to adapt and move on and embrace new ideas, and that's the only way forward. And that can be done as part of Malaysia. So that's why the government of Malaysia, although we've got a very cute pavilion, but it's very dynamic in terms of activity. Pavilion is pretty cute, I'll say. But Chomel, it's the activities that go on here. And from the report I got, 1 week thanks to Tuan Shamsul and team, it's really encouraging. And I think the government will be very happy with what they've achieved in the first week and this week. Also, a lot of interesting things will happen. But before I think there's something that we need to really understand. We do hope that startups will mainstream environment and society concerns. As we realize, right, all the wealth you have, one little virus unseen to us can knock you down. So this really needs to make us reprogram our thinking about what wealth and growth is. I personally feel the GDP is a wrong measurement of what wealth and growth is. We need to look at different parameters, and this is something I think Malaysia can offer to the world. And I think we need to deploy science, technology, innovations in a judicious measure. We need to ensure the soul of our growth is still connected to the core of human values. This is something that is always forgotten sometimes, not by everyone, but sometimes, that science, technology, and innovation is a bit distant from who we are and what the real human beings are, and the connection with the larger ecosystem. So this is something that I think our Malaysian startups can really bring to the world and offer to the world, given our Eastern culture, rich biodiversity. This is something I think we can sell as a strong value proposition. And this is all just to ensure that startups grow in a sustainable manner, repeating the topic of our bigger event today, to be resilient and to be globally competitive while providing this unique proposition that it's no longer lip service, and we need to bring the balance between planet, people, and profit. I think just riding on the profit wave will not take you far, as we saw, right? So you need to bring the planet, people, profit, just not for lip saying, but I think it needs to be in the DNA of every startups that we can have in Malaysia, and this is very important. So as an emerging powerhouse, as we always have been, and we're still being a powerhouse, and the World Bank has given a few data that we can be a highly developed nation by 2025, we hope, God willing. And we are moving quickly from low technology and heavy labor intensive to high tech. But while we do this, we also need to understand that we need to not make the great gap between the rich and poor bigger. So we do need to realize that there are some segments of society with different skill sets who really still need to do certain kind of jobs which are not very tech. And that's really important. And this has to come into center stage as well to understand equity, the issue of equity. So Malaysia has got a new policy, Vision 2020. Now we've got a new vision where we talk about inclusive growth. That needs to be translated in whatever we do, right? So for budding entrepreneurs, Malaysia is a great country to be based and to start your journey. We are land full of incentives, many incentives from pioneer status to green tax allowances. We are land of incentives. So I invite you to visit our pavilion and to talk to us. We'll be happy to guide you. My colleagues from here are so great and be happy to engage with you and to make Malaysia up. And before I end, I think these are my last words. Malaysia, your startup destination. We are beautifully located, from very long time. Why we were colonized for 400 years? Because of our location. We're between China and India. Everybody just loved our location, and we're still good location. Our demography, we are multi-ethnic. We are very peaceful, very tolerant. That makes Malaysia uniquely Asian. And we have got clear policies. I mean, if you come, you know what the direction is, so that makes it very easy for any investors to come to Malaysia. And we are trying to make people live, learn, live science. Science should not be just seen as what we know. I mean, it's multi-dimensional. Everything we do is science. I tell my grandmother, who used to have flawless skin, she uses meat plant, which I see around here. It's also science, and that needs to become mainstream as well. And I think we've got incentives, as I say, we've got the quadruplets, where we've got robust universities, big multinationals to groom young startups. And I say we need SGI with human values. This is really, really important, and I hope people will embrace this. I'm reminding myself also, whatever policies we do, this needs to be the center of it. And of course, people, planet, profit, linked to the sustainable development goals. And ladies and gentlemen, we are a global family, and Malaysia would like to invite all of you to redefine development. I think that's very important. We are in this juncture that we really need to refine development and deploying STI to enhance planetary health and to create a vibrant, sustainable future. So thank you all very much, and sorry to make you all enjoy the speech in question group, but I think that's part of the job, right? And stretching. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Nagu. As you can see, Dr. Nagu is here and I am here. So I have to bring down the mic just like that. Great speech, Dr. Nagu, great presentation. And I was actually taking notes to recap what Dr. Nagu was saying because it was inspiring and also realistic and able to achieve for us Malaysians. And we'd like to partner the world on this journey. As we say Malaysia, Malaysia for the whole time. Just to recap that presentation, wonderful presentation, Dr. Nagu, 2025, inclusive growth, planet, people, profit, STI, with human values, and the best line of all, ladies and gentlemen, I hope this mic can boom up to all the other countries and all right here at the Dubai Expo, Malaysia, your startup destination. A round of applause for Dr. Nagu. Fantastic. Everyone, please kindly turn your attention to this wonderful large video screen on stage to view our Malaysia Startup Ecosystem Enabler video. Let's now look and let's now be inspired.
Are you looking for startups to invest in? Are you looking for diversity and inclusivity in your startup portfolio? Are you ready for tomorrow's sustainable startups? Here's your opportunity, here in Malaysia, to venture, to collaborate, to create, to prosper. Malaysia. Why Malaysian startups? We are the epicenter of startup activity. We are home to an international community of tech founders and innovators. Your opportunity to collaborate and create sustainable startups. Here is your destination, Malaysia. Malaysia, your gateway to ASEAN and the world. Here in Malaysia, we are a 32 million multi-ethnic, multicultural and multilingual population with a smartphone penetration of 131.4% to 80% 3G, 4G. Broadband penetration at 127.1%. Internet users at 87.4% and rising. 5G rollout into a digital future. Here in Malaysia. Meet our startups.
Cradle has given us the most support financially and through coaching to enable us to put our ideas into practice and move forward. Sirin has supported us financially and technically. UniMed has been working with us very closely in education. MyKase has helped us to introduce our technology to the school children across Malaysia. And Hope Worldwide has helped us to realize the Zero Kitchen Waste goal with the Everyone Can Compost campaign.
AI is a field that is not even close to hitting its true potential. We are constantly in the process of fine-tuning our models, developing new models, and optimizing our pipeline. Funding means we can afford to spend more on R&D while deploying our existing products. Cradle's CIP Accelerate Funding Program is a game changer. The program allows innovation through continuous R&D with little to no impact to companies' bottom line.
Malaysia have an amazing ecosystem. We have thriving ecosystem. There's a lot of startup in various industry. So for us, what has helped us is actually we are part of this ecosystem. And we are helping each other, and then there's also various agencies that are providing funding, that are providing support. We also work with various universities. In fact, we work with almost all universities in Malaysia. It is very important for us to have this triple helix collaboration between industry, academia, and the government as well. And that's essentially what I would say is the strength in Malaysia. We have this strong ecosystem that support tech startup to thrive.
Meet our startup ecosystem enablers.
Our country remains an attractive investment destination with a highly favorable environment and infrastructure. The government will continue working together with industry players to create enticing investment incentives. Under the Malaysia Digital Economy Blueprint, we aim to accelerate the country's transformation into a technologically advanced economy by 2030 by improving digital literacy, creating high-income jobs, making banking and finance business easier and more. We have introduced tax incentives such as the Pioneer Status Investment Tax, Allowance and various others as announced in Budget 2021. Our government has implemented a relocation incentive with a special tax rate of between 0 to 10% up to 15 years for manufacturing companies like pharmaceutical products, including vaccines, and up to 10 years for services companies for those foreign companies relocating their operations to Malaysia. We have also extended the Principal Hub incentive application period and introduced the Global Trading Center incentive.
The diversity of our country, availability of tech talent, and a developed infrastructure is what makes it unique and compelling. The latest Global Innovation Index ranks Malaysia highly for innovation inputs, human capital, and research. Malaysia is ranked 4th for graduates in science and engineering and top 20 in emerging ecosystem talent. The Malaysian government sees the startup as a major contributor to the wealth creation and have various support and incentives for the ecosystem to thrive and flourish. This is both at technology development and advancement, supported by a well-established venture capital and investment landscape.
As an investor, whose mandate is to create wealth as well as to contribute towards nation building, we believe in focusing on our strength as a country. The electrical and electronic sector is one of the country's biggest strengths, not only in terms of economy, where it contributes more than 1/3 of our export value, but also in terms of talent pool. The E&E industry has the potential to create products and services that cannot be easily replicated, leading to real creation of value or wealth in existing economic systems. Entrance into this industry require a deep knowledge in technology that cannot be learned overnight, and this is a source of significant barrier to entry when dealing with competitors. Successful E&E startups are therefore a fertile ground for investment.
Malaysia is one of Southeast Asia's most vibrant economies, located at the center of high-growth ASEAN markets with robust trade and domestic demand. It offers a gateway to reach over 600 million people. With its attractive characteristics, track record of stable growth and political stability, well-developed infrastructure, and its connected transportation network, Malaysia is a favoured investment destination.
We do technology from the basic to the most advanced, and we also serve the needs of the small entrepreneur, the small enterprises, as well as the very advanced enterprises, because we have companies that make machines for the Google and the Apple of this world. We have companies like that. One of our companies that we have invested in is now worth about $2 billion. Even though it's only on the KLSE, it's 8.8 billion ringgit. And they make systems for the icons of this world.
For the first 5 years for custom, they build up the business domestically. That is where they raised about 14 million from our funds. And later on, they raised the big chunk, 30 million for Series D and the additional 170 million. So with that kind of firepower, they will expand in ASEAN and grow the market. The one that catches the eyes of the people when they acquired ICA from the Australian party, right? So that makes the valuation $1 billion US dollars.
Here in Malaysia, we are ready for you.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Here in Malaysia, video 6, we are ready for you. It now gives me great pleasure to invite Ms. Rafiza, accompanied by our agency representatives, Ajay Sharil, Ajay Aimi, Ajay Herman, and Ajay Sharil, to accompany Rafiza to accompany Dr. Nagu on stage for a wonderful group photograph opportunity. watch the cameraman in the middle, the man who watches them. Okay, let's do a casual one, but not without the thumb. Please, that's a real Malaysian cliche. The Malaysian cliche is the Malaysian thumb. Can we put with our finger number one? Because together as one, put your hand out like this. Together as one, we can do it. Malaysians, working with Malaysians, working with the world. Okay, we want another. Okay, thank you very much, Nathan. But we want another one. The butterfly. That is innovation at its best. Okay, how do you do a butterfly? We leave it to you. That's right. Fantastic. Round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Right now, invite Dr. Nagul, Ms. Rafiza, and Mr. Cheryl to kindly remain on stage. Other agency representatives, please kindly take their seats. Okay. Thank you so much for that wonderful photograph opportunity. So to our agency representatives and to Dr. Nagul, Rafiza, and Cheryl, we have invited you on stage to witness the respective MOUs and MOAs that will begin very, very shortly. Ladies and gentlemen, just as a housekeeping announcement, can we please keep our phones on silent? Yes, we had some interesting music played earlier, which was okay, but can we just put it on silent right there? Okay, for the first memorandum of understanding, I would like to invite Encik Hafiz Hashim from Tech Capital Resources, Senator Berhad, to the stage. A round of applause. Just in the middle right there, thank you. And Tech Capital Resources has signed an MOU with Tarabic Consulting Proprietary Limited. Let's now welcome Mr. Muhammad Hanifa from Tarabic Consulting and give them a big round of applause. Okay. Official photographer, please. Thank you very much, Mr. Hafiz and Mr. Muhammad Farooq. Kindly take your seats, please. A round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Next up, I would now like to invite Sheikh Noor Hisham to the stage from Eurocircuit Technology. This is an MOA between Eurocircuit Technology and Algat Al Zahir for Oilfield Services Limited, Iraq and Kuwait. I now please invite Mr. Hashim Malikado to please come to the stage for a photo with Expo about the MOA between Eurocircuit Technology and Algat Al Zahir Oilfield Services Limited. Please look at the camera. Please try to keep your best smile, even though the mask is covering your wonderful smile. Okay, thank you very much, gentlemen. Kindly take your seats once again. Next up, ladies and gentlemen, I would now like to invite Sheikh Shah Rizal to kindly take his seat. Our final MOU will be between GK Aqua Sindemraha and Elkumi Group. Please invite Mr. Hassan Badridi, Executive Director of Elkumi Group, and Mr. Chiba Kusami from GK Aqua Sindemraha on stage to formalize the MOU. Congratulations. Hold on just one moment. Dr. Nagul, you may need to reposition yourself because of the height. Okay, that's better. Okay, that's better. To the front. Yep. Okay. All right, now that's smart. Thank you very much. Please invite Mr. Hassan. Kindly take your seats. And now it gives me great pleasure to invite Dr. Nagul and Mr. Rafiza to kindly take their seats as well. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, a big round of applause for those MOUs. The MOUs earlier. The reason why I've asked you to applause again, because those MOUs and MOAs are hard work. Okay, again, I don't mean to take the pun out of the joke and use this joke a lot, blood, sweat, and tears, late nights, late WhatsApps, awkward conversations, positive conversations. All this leads to an agreement. And as you saw from the panel just now, well, our VIPs just now, they put the number one thing out and the butterfly to reach out, and together as one, we can do it. So again, one more time, let's give all the companies the credit they deserve. So congratulations to all the companies. Once again, your hard work is really, really inspiring. Ladies and gentlemen, next up we have a product launch by Paradigm. For those of you who are unaware, I'm sure all of you were looking at that latest piece of technology that Dr. Nagu referred to during his presentation, but Paradigm is a company who uses drone and data technology to enhance digital transformation. When we mention the word sustainability, we also think about the words digital and transformation. So for their presentation launch, it gives me great pleasure to welcome Mr. Jeff Lau from Paradigm for their exciting launch. Over to you, Mr. Jeff.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, heads of delegations. It's a great pleasure for us here to Dubai Malaysian Pavilion Expo 2020. My name is Jeffrey, and today I welcome you to our official global product launch. So I would like to inform everyone that we are developing the next generation drone system. So previously and traditionally, it's always been pilots who have been operating the drones to basically store remote control. We have a pilot to send drones and capture the data. But our next drone system is going to perform all these mission objectives in an automated and autonomous mode. But first of all, I'd like to talk a bit about my company. So Paradigm is a Malaysian company. We started since 2014. So we are actually a drone solution and technology provider to not only Malaysia, but to many clients in different countries globally. So we deploy our solution and technology to critical inspection, security surveillance, precision agriculture, aerial mapping, and also geographical information study. So we have grown from a team of 3 people to a current organizational strength of over 500 people, and we are present in more than 35 countries globally. So we are also very lucky, very fortunate that we have been recognized and ranked as the leading drone service company in the world globally. And it's truly an achievement that we are very proud of. And we actually started from a project south of Malaysia in Johor for Pengerang. We actually use drones to provide project monitoring services to monitor the construction and progress of a truly magnificent oil and gas downstream project. So we since have grown on to provide inspection services for the Naga National Berhad, where Paradigm is responsible for the inspection and the asset management of the national grid. And Paradigm is the pioneer in development of AI model, where we use AI algorithms to do automatic detection of defects and damages on power line that keep our electricity running in the country. So in 2018, we start to grow overseas. So this is a snapshot and overview of where we are globally. In the Middle East, in Saudi Arabia, and UAE, we do extensive amount of drone operations. So we deliver drone inspection solutions for power, transmission, and distribution lines in Saudi Arabia and UAE. We also do extensive amount of large-scale aerial mapping, where we provide valuable geographical information to our customer to actually design and before they build the project. And we also provide security surveillance, traffic surveillance to some of our customers who use the real-time insights for their own. Not only that, we are also very active in the renewable energy sector globally. We have inspected over 7 gigawatt of solar PV panels. In UAE, we have done extensive work of condition-based inspection for the Muhammad bin Rashid Solar Park, in UAE itself. And in the wind sector, we have inspected over 7,000 WTG wind turbine generators globally in the world. So as a Malaysian company, we are very proud that we are delivering our services, our homegrown services to clients globally in the world who cherish and value our services. Not only that, in Australia, we also provide our drone services to inspect the telecom tower. So to date, we have inspected over 9,000 telecom towers. So we are very happy that this number is continuing to grow. So at the heart of our organization is all about giving the right analytic and data to our customer. Basically, we collect a lot of data for our customer. We process and actually deliver real-time good insights, valuable insights for our customer to take better management of their assets, to actually look after their assets in a real, more predictive manner. So we give predictive analysis to our customer to manage and maintain their assets. So it's all about the data technology to give valuable data for our customer. And this data can range from all kinds of data. It can be visual, thermal, multispectral, hyperspectral. So we process all this data and give these valuable insights to our customer. So it's all about driving the digital transformation. So with the data and analysis we provide, we help to drive the operations of our customer more efficiently. So we make it faster, cheaper, and better. So from an example of inspecting the telecom tower, we reduce the amount of time it takes to inspect a tower and also to come up with a 3D digital twin. So also from the oil and gas inspection point of view, we actually reduce the amount of physical and touch inspection for the inspector team to inspect conditions of the asset. So while we are doing all this inspection, we realize that hey, drones can actually be used to perform live and real-time surveillance. So I would like to present to you our next drone technology called the Falcon. And here's a video to showcase our product.
In an era of digital transformation, technology plays a vital role in improving security and surveillance efficiency to control national borders. When faced with a security threat, various IoT devices will detect and send signals to the aerodrome, Nested Aerial Tactical Intelligence System, or NATS. With the capabilities of AI technology, the NATS will automatically activate the drone as a first responder to identify all risks and threats. Advances in technological systems equipped with AI capabilities and smart drones can perform tasks and act according to predefined missions. This system has the ability to integrate with enforcement and authority databases. The NATS can also access and display incident information and personal data of suspects to help operations tactically and effectively. This intelligent communication network system can activate drones from different nests and go to the location of the incident for a faster and more efficient response. With machine learning and increasingly intelligent AI capabilities over time, NATS provides high-tech security solutions that are in line with the ever-evolving threat trends. NATS guarantees more effective border surveillance and security.
Falcon is our next generation drone system with swarm intelligence. It is also the next generation data, a geospatial intelligence platform. So the idea is that drones are able to carry out a mission by its own. It has the ability to capture data, analyze the data, and also make informed decision by itself. So traditionally, we have human pilots who actually control the drone flights, but with Fulcrum integrated with AI machine vision, we are able to carry out drone missions autonomously and in an automated manner. So we put the Falcon with a few characteristics. It has a message drone system. Basically, what you see here in the military color is the docking station where the drones can be put inside the box. It can come with air conditioning and it can be put in all weather environment. In cold weather, you can have heater or normal. For the hot environment, you can put the cool air conditioning. So basically, the drone are able to take off, fly, carry out its mission, capture the data, transmit the data back. The AI can read the data and process it into informed analytics and decision. So we have this nested drone system here, which reduce the need of human intervention and operator on the site. Not only that, we also have the ability to detect certain kind of characteristics, object, subject, even characteristics like motion. So the drone can actually recognize all these detections and then it's able to fly to this area of interest and carry out all kinds of like real tracking and even monitoring functions. So the idea is that we reduce the amount of human labor in the process to make the whole asset management operations much more efficient, seamless, and also cost effective as well. So in the example of a security surveillance, we could set a flight mission with a border, and then the drones can actually deploy and do a remote patrolling. If it picks up any intrusion or any unauthorized vehicle or person, it's able to flag it out, it's able to send a signal to the headquarters or command and control center and tell the remote operator that we have a security intrusion. So it can also be used in agriculture sense, also in critical infrastructure sense. So we will share that in the next screen. But now I would like to hand over the control to my remote operator who's able to fly the drone from Dubai. The drone is in Malaysia, and then we'll show you live operations. Lodi, please go ahead. So currently, what you are seeing are 4 footages from Malaysia. First footage on the top left corner is from Aerodyne campus in Cyberjaya, Malaysia. So what my colleague here is doing is actual flight, takeoff, launch procedure. So in a very short while, you will see the drone taking off. And these are broadcasted live from the drone directly to Dubai, where we are now, and we are seeing the live operations as we speak. On the top right section, okay, let's go with this first. So the drone is taking off now from sunny Malaysia, Cyberjaya. I'm sure it's very familiar to all of you. So this is all remotely controlled by Goldie in Dubai. So the drone is taking off and you can do a variety of functions. So this is the case of a security surveillance scenario where you can use drones for aerial security and monitoring purposes. So you can do gimbal control, you can control the camera, you can zoom the camera. So fortunately, we have a bit of a lag in the bandwidth because of the streaming. It's coming from Malaysia all the way to Dubai. So we could also do zooming, also magnify. So this gives really valuable insight to any stakeholders and users who use drones for their various security and monitoring purposes. Okay, on the top right screen is actual live footage. This is a thermal camera, so it's able to detect the presence of any human or any vehicle temperature. So from the border in Kelantan. Okay, so we use drones to actually perform live security surveillance, so you can see the presence of any moving object. And if there's any overheating temperature, you can actually pick it up on the thermal camera itself. So Aerodyne pioneered this technology to stream multiple drones all in one single platform from all kinds of data. So in this case here, we have the thermal camera, which is actually performed by this drone over here. And now we have another footage coming from the border in Belize. Okay, so basically we're doing visual based security surveillance. So we have the ability to do zooming, and we can zoom all the way to the finest point or area of interest in detail. So please keep in mind, these are all performed live. So we are able to see the live operations at work. So this is the basic foundation of Fulcrum product itself. Imagine what we could do with some of this video if we have certain AI analytics to support the kind of work for security enforcement purposes. So there is no limit to how high the drone can fly. Of course, it has its range. At Aerodyne, we're continuously using different kinds of drone platform, from fixed wing, from multi-rotor. So in this case here, we have another drone. So it's doing a tracking of a vehicle that is in motion. So we could actually send some commands to it to start following, to stop following. So this could happen in case of unauthorized vehicle entering into a critical area. So it's suitable and useful for security surveillance purposes. So thank you, Goni. So this is a snapshot and preview of the Fulcrum product, where we actually use drone data, basically, to do effective security and monitoring purposes. So basically, it can also be used in other scenarios, other industry as well. For example, in precision agriculture, you can put a drone and a nest in the farm. So basically, the drone can fly. If you go and do a certain yield or plant health or monitoring, it could be injected with the right amount of chemical and pesticide. So basically, this all can be carried out in an automated manner to do the data capture for the asset. And in this example here, we also have a power line, so we could have a drone without any human pilots on site. We could take off from station A to station B, station C. It's part of the preventative maintenance by the nest drone itself. So this is the next technology, drone technology that's being developed by Aerodyne. So we are really looking forward to bring this technology to the marketplace. So we would like to make the process more efficient, faster, cheaper, better for our customers in Malaysia and globally. So with that, I would like to show the final video to close this presentation. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Jeff. Aerodyne, ladies and gentlemen, advancing humanity with drone intelligence. Ladies and gentlemen, you've all done extremely well today with this heat, but there was plenty of inspiration to make us go around to forget about the environment and climate that we were in, or we are in. So the music has rolled, so that is a cue. I would now like to invite Ms. Rafiza, Encik Sharil, Encik Aimi, Encik Herman, and Encik Sharil to accompany Dr. Nagu for the modular showcase tour. Please stand, ladies and gentlemen. A round of applause, yes, please. So, ladies and gentlemen, while our VIPs are on the modular showcase tour, thank you once again for being such a fantastic audience. I know a lot of you have run for the water, but just to a reminder that we will be having our second keynote address at 12:15 p.m. on the second floor, yeah? On the second floor at 12:15 p.m. We're now inviting you for a short coffee break at the cafe just downstairs here on my left. And then we will begin everything at 12:15. If you please don't be late, come at about 12:14, 12:12 p.m. My name is Ben Ibrahim. It's been a pleasure to be your MC for this morning. I'll see you at 12:12 p.m.